And now, more Comics Watching Comics.
Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you, but I am not a native New Yorker. No Cherie Bob, as native New Yorkers say, I think. I'm actually from the United Kingdom, and it is tricky being a Brit in this city because we are stupidly polite, and New York as well, they're fucking not really. It does make you wonder how the British effectively invented the slave trade and conquered 3/4 of the globe. Sorry about all this raping and pillaging, old chap. I'll bet you think I'm a right plonker. It must have been awkward for all involved. We are a miserable bunch in the UK. And I think that's the reason therapy never really took off. That and the fact that we're not fucking stupid. We know that life is supposed to be shit.
Oh, where's Mel Gibson?
Is it me, or does anyone else feel like they're watching a Guy Ritchie film?
No, I feel like I'm watching a...
I hate this cowboy rope work he's doing with the fucking cord.
Like he's fucking creating a lariat?
Yeah.
Well, up to this point, I haven't really heard any jokes.
I think the reason universal healthcare never really took off over here is the amount of people in therapy in this very room would bankrupt the Treasury in a week. One of my main struggles over here is my accent. It's very thick, so I have to do this silly voice to be understood. Now, I didn't know that when I first got here, so for the first 18 months of doing comedy, I was completely inaudible. I just thought people couldn't understand my jokes, and it turns out they couldn't, not a fucking word of them. But amazingly, this accent makes people in my neighbourhood think that I have money. Like, instead of being broke as fuck, I have made a philosophical decision to live amongst the poor.
That's your first joke.
But speaking of poor people, you're probably going to think I've just made this story up for a joke. It is true.
You know, there's a myth
comedy.
that accents make everything funnier. He's got to break that myth.
He just blew it.
I once saw a ginger man, I believe you call them redheads, wearing a suit. You do not see that every day. A successful ginger man. Good on him. Women often complain about the pay gap, but I would love to see the figures between gingers and normals. I wrote this one recently about Netflix because I like to keep current. I hope you don't mind me sharing. Netflix, you are shit. I haven't finished that one yet, but I think you'll agree it's going to be very, very good when I do. This next one's a little more serious. I'm just going to call it what it is. It is literally a call to arms. Arms! Arms! Arms!
Up until this point, there's not a hell of a lot of material going on. There's a lot of like, I'm not from this country, so isn't that funny that I sound like this? And no, it's not. I don't see any material, so it's not from me. He's giving me nothing to go, hey, you know what, could do some work? He's so far nothing.
Ray Goots.
He lost me right from the start. If I had been in the room, either like as a comic or as a customer or as working, God forbid, I hope that never happens to me again, I would have just left the room. I'd have been like, there's probably nothing here. I just didn't know where he was going half the time. When his punchline says, like, that's it. Needs a lot of work.
It's very hard to... He does have a very thick accent. The very first thing that he said about how did the UK invade... They invented slavery and conquered 3/4 of the world because they're so polite, sounded a whole bunch like...
John Oliver?
No, Eddie Izzard. No, Eddie Izzard did it before John Oliver.
Yeah.
So that kind of felt stepped on. The first joke was about a minute in with the philosophical decision, which was okay. Maybe lead with that.
My preference is a comic, and my favorite's David Tell. He will punch you in the fucking face with the word go. This guy is not. Like you said, a minute and a half in, he got his first joke in.
I was already gone.
Right. I'm long.
Everybody checked out.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had to go to the
I'm not vested at all. At all.
I hate to say it, but if I was a customer and I had to go to the bathroom, this would be where I went to the bathroom.
Yeah. Next.
Dan, get to the point quicker, my friends. In America, we have ADD. Sorry, buddy.
You know, when somebody dies in your immediate vicinity, I always say to myself, you know, the guy died. How come I still can't find parking? So I'm 70 years old, folks. 7-0, okay? I could die up here. So if I die up here, it's okay. You can go through my pockets, all right? Don't worry about it. That's Phillip Patrick O'Reilly. Growing up, they called me PP. That was a lot of fun. I went in the Air Force at 19. Phillip Patrick O'Reilly, first time roll call. Phillip Patrick O'Reilly became PP Orally. So, had my colonoscopy.
You tell him.
Go, girl.
The results, they found my head. So I'm married 24 years. 24 years married. 12 years a slave, got shit on me.
So there you go again, another fucking math joke, as we're doing the math and not paying attention to him. Just say you got married at 46, dude.
Now, there's a math joke followed by more math. There was something
Let's
about
like
12.
around him like 30 years, because then it's like, oh, it's anniversary time.
I'm watching the Oscars with my wife, and I said to her, you know, Halle Berry won the Oscar, got divorced, and Reese Witherspoon won, she got divorced, and so did Sandra Bullock, she won, she got divorced. So I said to my wife, did you ever think about taking acting lessons? I think a little bit about me I put out. Anybody? I like to give it up. I like it rough. I likes my women's like I likes my deodorants, old and spicy. I did a volunteer job at Sloan Kettering, you know, the Make-A-Wish thing. And I did about 10 minutes, and there was a girl, where are you sitting? About 10 years old, bald, blue-eyed, and I said to her, so little girl, what's your make-a-wish? She said, my make-a-wish is that you die before I die.
The nonchalantness of it was just like, well, you know, and then his voice just trails off.
Well, I think that's his style. His style is that, you know, whatever, man, guys, whatever, man.
Fine, but there's no, but I can't understand you when your voice is trailing off. It's like when you do the punchline, well, you know, this fucking cunt, blah, blah, blah. All right, fucking make sure you enunciate the last part, which is important for us to hear.
Yeah. I wanted to like this guy.
Me too, man.
Like the parking joke was really funny.
Yes.
His style, right? Like
yeah, it was unique. You know, having a life coach to die, funny. But then it just turned into "Take My Wife, Please."
Yeah.
I want to hear him talk about him, not stock shit. I think if that guy just was offensive, he'd be really fucking funny.
My fat wife is worse than slavery. That's the punchline. Hey.
He only raped her once in 2 hours.
Oh, she raped me. She's so fat. I couldn't breathe. I also pass on.
But-
He stinks.
No. More beers for Goats.
Yeah. That's a great shirt that like he must have stolen from the fucking 2.5 Men wardrobe.
For sure. That's a Charlie.
That's Charlie.
All right, next.
All right, so we universally pass.
Unfortunately.
Okay.